welcome to Shopsticks Travel. I'm Luke Martin, and today I have another compilation style video for you. This time it's the top 22 street foods to try in Singapore, one of the greatest food cities in the world. Make sure you watch until the end and comment down below what's your favorite Singapore street food. Please enjoy today's episode.
You guys want to sit downstairs?
Hello, thank you.
Yeah, Gilmandro.
This place is super popular. It's crazy busy in here, and it's all because their martabak is so delicious. They actually thin out a really thin piece of dough, and then they put another piece of bread inside, which is different than how I've seen it prepared before, and then an egg on top, and then whatever meat you want to order. It's all halal, so they have mutton and beef and chicken. They also have deer, which is a super interesting ingredient, but I'm gonna have the beef martabak today. So the beef martabak has arrived. It's got this really interesting texture on the outside. It's got all these like kind of bumps all over it, crispy looking bumps, and then it's served with a gravy, and then also with some cucumbers that are completely drowned in this chili sauce there, you can see. And it looks like there's actually some vegetables inside there too, is that right? Looks like onions inside, onions I think. And I'm gonna go for a little dip here in the gravy. Oh, it is hot, isn't it? Yum. Oh, that is a good martabak. Is that the beef on the outside?
I think it's minced beef on the outside, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. The beef is actually on the outside. So I thought that was just pieces of the bread, but it's actually the beef on the outside. And this gravy goes well with it. It's just mild, but a little bit spicy actually at the same time. The flavor is not too strong. It is definitely greasy, very oily, but I love the onions in there. And it's really unique that the meat is actually on the outside of the martabak. Let me chase it with some of these cucumbers with chili sauce. So all the satay stalls are just numbered. I went to satay number 8, stall number 8, because there was just a line of people there. It's quite expensive. I paid $7 for 10 pieces. It's just surrounded by these massive skyscrapers here in downtown Singapore. And I don't know how I'm gonna find a table, but let's see what I can do. It's packed here. The satay has arrived. It was $7 for 10 pieces of satay, which is a little bit pricey for sure, but I am right in downtown Singapore, surrounded by big banks and corporations, and it's quite authentic. They're making it with charcoal, served with a peanut sauce. I've got half chicken, half beef. Gonna go in for a dip, a generous dip. Chicken first. Cucumber. Yep. I feel like the sauce is toned down. It should be a little bit spicier. It's nice and creamy and peanutty, but it should be a lot spicier. You can taste that smoky charcoal flavor. It's a small satay though, wow. I think I should have ordered 20. Next up, let's try the beef. You can also get prawns and mutton as well. Onion. The beef is really good, really tender. The sauce is super peanutty. It's almost like a peanut butter. I wish it had more heat to it though. Nice and smoky. The atmosphere is really what this is all about though, right in downtown Singapore. I'm definitely wishing that I would have ordered 20 or more of these, but I was kind of like freaked out by the price. They had some sets of satay on there for over 100 Singapore dollars. It was like, I don't know how many pieces it was, maybe 60 or something, I'm not sure, but $100 for satay, that's pretty crazy. So we're at this really popular place called the Original Katong Laksa. It's been around for over 50 years, so this is a very like Singaporean style laksa. It's Nonya or Peranakan or Straits Chinese. There's a lot of different words, but basically just the Chinese that settled in this region. And you can see it here. It's this beautiful, rich coconut broth with shrimp, these shortcut noodles. She put a little bit of chili on the side here, and then there should be some cockles in there as well. And that broth just looks ridiculously rich. And I'm just gonna take the whole chili. Oh, there's a cockle right there. Whole chili, mix it around, and look at the color of that. It's just beautiful. And these are spoonable noodles. You don't even need the chopstick. Yeah, super rich, creamy coconut flavor. And then a little bit of sweetness. It's not spicy. You can't really taste the curry either. It's just a really nice coconut flavor. And then those rice noodles are really shortcut, slippery noodles. Let me try to find some of the goodies in here. Oh, there's a cockle. And then can I find a shrimp? And those noodles have been saturated with the broth because she keeps filling it and then emptying it full of the broth, so the noodles really absorb all that flavor. That is such a rich, creamy broth. Oh my gosh. So I'm just in the back kitchen here watching how they make the dosas here at Komala Villas. He basically just takes the batter, spreads it very thinly on the hot pan, and then you can get it with aloo masala, or you can just get it plain, rolls it up, nice and crispy. Oh yeah, that looks good. Let's try it out. Alright, check this thing out. This is called the dosa cone. He is hiding behind it. It's like a massive dosa. It's like a leaning Tower of Pisa right now. And then served with some different chutneys and curries. Oh wow, the size of that thing is crazy. This is yours.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be able to handle
falling
it?
down.
That is pretty cool. I can't believe it's able to stand up without falling over. Look at it, it's like completely sideways. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, look at this. There's a lot going on here. So mine has arrived. I ordered the banana leaf dosa meal. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different things, and then this massive dosa. To be honest, I'm not totally familiar with all of them. This is definitely dal. This is some aloo. There's some chutneys here. This one I think back here might be sweet. It looks like it might be sweet, and then this looks like some sort of a bean with curd, and then the beautiful crispy dosa. Oh yeah, oh wow. Yep, that is super crispy. We have a lot of food in front of us right here, and we're in Little India, so we're gonna eat with our hands, right? So we're gonna go in with the dosa. Oh wow, it is so crispy. You can hear the crunchiness. I think this is a dal. It looks like lentils.
Looks like, yeah,
with some other things in there. Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, it's got a tinge of like sourness in there, and then super crispy, paper thin dosa.
Love it.
The outside is crispy, but then the inside has a little bit of a like spongy texture.
And it's
to it.
moist, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit moist on the inside. Oh yeah, that's good. This brings me right back to India. We've got our first food today here at the Maxwell Food Center, and this is an absolutely hectic food center, but there's lots of different famous stalls, and we started off with a small snack today, and this is the Fuzhou oyster cake. So it actually, honestly, it doesn't look that appetizing. It's just, it looks like a piece of deep fried batter, but apparently what lies inside is where all the goodness is at. and it actually is extremely rare because a lot of people don't make it in the traditional way like we saw her making it inside, but it's very popular to eat here because it's one of the last remaining hawker stalls apparently in Singapore serving this particular dish. So the way that she makes this is she takes the rice flour into sort of like a special kind of spoon or ladle, and then she covers the bottom of the ladle in the rice flour and then throws in all the different ingredients, the Chinese celery, then a couple, 3 or 4 oysters, and then a shrimp or 2, and then covers it again in some more rice flour. And then on top of all that, she puts peanuts, only 2 or 3 peanuts. But the owner told me that the peanuts are not for the flavor, but rather some people like to order the oyster cakes without oysters. So they use the peanuts as sort of an indication of which ones have oysters and which ones do not. So peanuts mean oysters and no peanuts mean no oysters. This is extremely hot, but I'm going to crack it open and show you guys what's inside. So it's just completely like brown, golden brown on the outside. That's just deep fried rice flour. And let's crack this open, see what's inside. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Look at that, that looks extremely juicy. So inside there is oysters, of course, and some Chinese celery, and pork and shrimp as well. And just check out how juicy that looks. It is just packed full of all those stuffings. I can see there's an oyster, some pork. Not sure if there's a shrimp in this bite though. The first place I've come to is this little stall behind me here that's serving appam. So appam is like a pancake that she uses a tiny little wok that she adds batter to and then kind of works it around so the batter covers the entire surface of the wok. It gets crispy on the edges, and then in the middle where the rest of the batter settles, it becomes kind of spongy and pillowy, and then you eat it with a little bit of sugar and coconut milk. Let's try it out. It's gonna be perfect breakfast. All right, here is my breakfast. This is the famous appam. So you can see it's really spongy in the middle, and then it's nice and brown and crispy on the outside. And then it's served with this red sugar and then a coconut milk back here. So it's meant to just be kind of dipped and enjoyed, especially for breakfast. This is a popular Southern Indian dish. I'm gonna try it with just a little bit of this sugar first. Yum. It's got a little bit of a tangy fermented flavor. Nice and sweet from that sugar. Crispy and chewy at the same time. Yum. It's actually a nice kind of balance between sweetness and a little bit of a savoriness because of that fermented flavor. I'm gonna go in a little bit deeper into this appam for that middle part, and look at that. It is so fluffy on the inside. Go for a dip in the coconut milk. This is awesome. And this stall behind me here is very famous. It's serving something called PUTU PIRING, which is like coconut steamed with gula, which is palm sugar. And I'm really excited to try it out. It's gonna be a little bit sweet, I think. So this stall was actually featured by Netflix on their Netflix Street Food Singapore episode. PUTU PIRING is a very unique dessert. It's just coconut that's steamed with a little bit of the gula melaka, and they're working like a conveyor belt, super, super fast. And they've got these really specialized steamer cups that they use to make the PUTU PIRING. And actually it's gonna be my first time trying it, so I'm pretty excited. She also tops it with a little bit of extra coconut, the unsteamed coconut at the end. So let's go try it out. I bought 2 packets. Oh, you put the money in the machine?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Self-service. Cool. Only one like this?
Yeah, the only one in Singapore.
Cool. Oh, you got the receipt.
I have the receipt here. What time you buy, how much you put in.
Okay.
It's all here.
So $2.50 for a packet.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
So here's the final result. They serve it with a couple little pieces of pandan, I guess just for the fragrance, and you can see that brown gula melaka just oozing out of that. It looks delicious and it is piping hot, so let's try it out. Wow, there's a lot of gula melaka, and you can grab some of that extra, I guess it's just coconut. Looks
Shredded
like
coconut.
shredded coconut. Wow.
So good.
That is so good. The texture is really unique. It's almost like silty, kind of like falls apart in your mouth. And then the gula melaka is nice and sweet, but it's also got flavor. Oh wow, those are addicting.
And the coconut has some salty flavor in it.
There's definitely a little bit of a savory aspect to it as
So
well.
it's sweet and salty.
I'm glad I bought 2 packets.
So the spot that we ordered from is called Lian He Benji clay pot, and they are extremely famous for this clay pot. It is otherwise known as the Three Sisters clay pot. This is like a black, dark soy sauce. Okay, that should be good. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of dig in and grab there. Check out the size of this piece of chicken. First off, that is one piece of chicken. There is so much going on in this bowl. So I'm just gonna try to get some of the kind of crusted rice. So I'm actually kind of chiseling away the rice from the sides here. And I should have gotten some burnt rice. I'm just gonna put that right on top of my bowl. Oh yeah, that looks so good. Okay, I'm gonna dig into this now. Okay, so it has been completely smothered in that dark soy sauce. You can see it. And also massive pieces of chicken. And there's also some salted fish in here, she told me, and also Chinese sausage. I'm not sure exactly if I got a piece of that. Oh, it's so hot but so good. That is a massive chunk of chicken, and that chicken is so tender. So I just ordered myself up 2 pieces of plain paratha from this hawker stall here, and they serve it with a beautiful looking mutton curry gravy. This is one of the most popular things to have here in Singapore when it comes to Indian food especially. Let's try it out. So a super flaky, crispy fried bread. Oh wow, it's super crispy actually on the outside, but then on the inside it looks like it's got a little bit of a elasticity to it. Go for a dip in that mutton gravy. Try it. Wow. Wow. That is seriously good. That gravy is phenomenal. It's really well balanced. It's got a little bit of a sweetness, a little bit of a tanginess and spiciness at the same time. And then the paratha is just the perfect medium for eating that. Soaks it right up. A little bit of an elasticity to it, like I said. Oh yeah. That gravy is phenomenal. Look at that. Super rich and a little bit oily, but not too oily. So, again, you can get the paratha with eggs and onions and different things in it, but I just ordered the plain, and you can also get a fish curry instead of the mutton as well. Wow, that is such a good curry. The paratha is okay, but the mutton curry is just phenomenal. I could eat that every day. first dish for this evening, and we have ordered something up called CHEE, and that is a Cantonese steamed, thin, very, very thin, delicate noodle. So I ordered 2 different kinds, one with prawn and then one with barbecue pork or chashu. And she topped it with some fried shallots and some chili sauce, and then the kind of very light soy sauce, like very watery kind of soy sauce. So let's just check this out here. Look at how thin these noodles are. They're super ridiculously thin. So it really doesn't take much. She only steams them for a very short time. First she puts down a cheesecloth, and then after that she puts the batter, which is a very watery type batter, on top of the cheesecloth, lets that steam for maybe only 2 minutes, and then after that she pulls it out, and the whole cheesecloth and everything just scrapes it off the cheesecloth, and then rolls it up and chops it into these fine little pieces, and then tops it with all this delicious sauce, shallots, chilies, and yes, it looks very good. So I'm gonna try this. I think, yes, this is the chashu barbecue pork on the inside. So let's take this bite and try it out. So delicate, like a very, very delicate noodle. And that barbecue pork on the inside is a little bit sweet. It's like shredded pork almost on the inside. We just ordered up something that is extremely popular here in Singapore, maybe one of the most famous dishes, and that is the chili crab. So we ordered 1 crab, which is 45 Singapore dollars, so a little bit pricey, and then also sambal stingray, so sambal chili sauce and stingray. And I'm really excited. I love crab, so this should be pretty good. Our food has arrived to the table now, and this just looks phenomenal. We've got the sambal stingray over here, just coated in that sambal sauce, sweet chili sauce, and served with a calamansi and some onions and chilies. And then we've got our massive crab, chili crab over here, just completely drenched in that chili sauce. Okay, she's already kind of helped us out by opening it up. Oh, okay, there's a big chunk of meat there. I've got one of the claws, and I'm gonna go for this bite here, but first I'm just gonna dip it in that sauce. There actually, maybe there's egg. Oh yeah, it looks like some egg in there as well. So egg in the sauce, and let's try that out. This is gonna be my first time having chili crab. Oh yeah. That is amazing. That has like almost like a fruity flavor. There definitely is egg in that sauce mixture because it's really got a thick consistency. And not too spicy, a little bit sweet, and it's not overpowering, just like the sambal stingray. You can definitely taste the natural sweetness of this crab, and there is so much meat on this crab. Oh yeah, there's even another whole bite on this claw. Okay, I'm gonna go in for this here. Oh, that's so good. That's so ridiculously meaty.
Lalaki ng serving.
So after feasting all day long, we have a feast in front of us. This is the chicken rice. We ordered half a chicken. So this is poached chicken Hainan style. What is this? Looks like fried garlic on top,
garlic.
yeah? And it's got a sauce all over it. He wanted us to order the liver, the chicken liver.
I love chicken liver.
Yeah, chicken liver. And then we've also got the bean sprouts with, it said salted fish, I think.
Okay.
Salted fish. And then you got to eat it with the rice because it wouldn't be chicken rice without the rice. And then we've got soup too. Oh, and the acha, which is like pickles, I guess, right?
Complimentary acha.
Yeah, so it's like refillable pickles, refillable soup, and there's like pineapples and carrots and onions, all kinds of goodies in there. Wow.
So hungry.
Yeah? Let's dig in. So this place is called Delicious Boneless Chicken. So I guess someplace leave the bone on, right?
Yes. So this is boneless.
Boneless chicken.
And steamed.
Put it back on my rice back here. Wow, there's a lot going on at this table. Take a little bit of sauce too. So I'm also sitting with the youngest and cutest food reviewer in the game, Kayla. Say hi. She's busy. She's busy. She likes chicken rice. So I gotta have some of this red chili sauce here with the chicken, and then get it with the rice. Break that in half. Try that. You can see the rice has been cooked with some of that chicken oil. It's got a little bit of a yellow tinge. You must have it with the sauce. The sauce is really where most of the flavor is coming from. It's a little bit spicy and a little bit sour at the same time. The chicken's like just really soft, moist, juicy chicken. And then I gotta chase it with one of these, this acha, the pickles. I'll take a carrot and a piece of pineapple. Pickled pineapple, that's awesome. Oh yeah. Now I know why everyone's waiting so long. You want more sauce? Put that.
Okay, so after about a 30-minute wait in line, we have our next dish here. This is a bowl of fish meat bihun, which is vermicelli noodles with fish meat, and then it's all in this extremely milky looking broth. So let's check out this bowl here. As you can see, just look at that broth. It is extremely like milky. He actually used milk to make it this consistency. And then on top, we've got a ton of fried shallots, some greens, and then big chunks of deep fried fish. And then underneath here we have the bihun noodles, which look amazing, and this smells so good. It looks extremely like creamy. So let's dig in. Oh, whoa. It's a little bit salty and a little bit kind of like almost sour, and it is super creamy from that milk. And it has like a nice like fish stock taste. Let's try these bihun noodles. Those are quite like bouncy, QQ, very firm noodle actually.
Okay, we're sitting down now. We've ordered, you got it with pork ribs, yeah, and then I got mine with just the jumbo prawns, and then we both ordered the egg noodles. Sorry about the noise, it's super loud here. Prawn mee is one of like the typical Singaporean foods, I think, right?
True. And it's big.
It's huge and expensive, 12.50 Singapore dollars.
Premium price.
Yeah, but the prawns look good. It's like a really prawn flavored broth. Those noodles are nice and bouncy.
Yeah, it's actually a mix of pork broth and prawn broth.
It's not too oily, but it's like a really rich flavor. Yum. Okay, I gotta try one of these prawns. How are you gonna go in for it?
Yeah, let's just go.
Oh, mine's falling apart. Oh, look at that. Perfect extraction. Oh wow, that was easier than I thought.
Here. So fresh.
Yeah. Oh, it's a meaty prawn. Really fresh.
With I think there's some fried shallots as well.
Yep. It looks like I've got 3 full prawns that have all been cut in half, so 6 pieces. Those are pretty big. Look at the size of that.
Just to spice it up a little bit.
Yep.
A few slices of chili padi.
Oh, right in the soup. Okay.
And then chili powder.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
Is that okay for you?
it's gonna have to be, I guess.
Okay.
Thanks.
Is it?
It's nice. It's good though. Yeah, that actually adds like a lot of like smokiness into the broth there.
That's how you start your morning.
Yeah, it's better than a cup of coffee. These prawns are definitely generous in size, and the soup is really good. I don't know, I'd say it's worth the price, the heavy price, because you can get cheaper prawn mee in Singapore for sure. And it's not easy to film right now because the noise is so loud outside.
just ordered up something called CHENDOL. This is Nyonya CHENDOL, and Nyonya is like the Chinese immigrants who moved to the Malaysian Peninsula, Indonesia, Singapore, all those places a long time ago, and this is their version of like the Malaysian shaved ice. So she shaved up the ice, of course, and then put tons of things, a lot of condensed milk, palm sugar. I'm not exactly sure everything that's in here, but then these kind of worm-like little green things, they are a rice flour noodle and then cut into small pieces and then colored with pandan extract, or sometimes maybe artificial food coloring, but hopefully this is the pandan kind. I'm gonna try this out. I'm just so spiced out after that chili crab. This is probably the perfect thing I could eat right now. You can definitely taste, I think I said that was condensed milk, but that is certainly coconut milk, because that is very coconut flavored.
All right, here's the gulab jamun, and it is absolutely swimming in the sugar syrup. This is my favorite of all the Indian desserts. I'm gonna try to just bite this in half because it's quite a big one. Wow. Wow, that is sweet. Man, oh man. It is so saturated with the sugar syrup, so the sweetness is just completely infused into it. And there's not a whole lot of flavor, it's more just about the texture. It's so soggy, but it retains the like structure of the ball. You can see inside, it's soaked all the way through to the very middle there. Wow, it's pretty good gulab jamun. Can't eat too many of those. So I've ordered up my curry puff. This kind is with beef rendang. They also have like potato and chicken and mutton, I believe. And you can just see there's layer upon layer upon layer of pastry there. It is ridiculously flaky looking. And then I can see a little bit of the beef rendang inside there. So let me try to get in, taste that beef rendang. I'm making a mess. Wow, that is so flaky. That's crazy. So ridiculously flaky. It's like a chip on the outside. There's gotta be like a million layers of that flaky pastry on the outside. And I only got a little bit of the beef rendang on the inside, but it's nice and sweet tasting. Really soft beef and super, super crunchy on the outside. I think that's why this place is gonna be so famous, because that is just seriously flaky and crispy. And go in for a little bit more of the beef rendang. Yum. There's a little slight curry flavor. That is quite the pastry. I'm not sure how they make it so flaky like that. Like, look at this. It's like an accordion. Look at that. There's so many layers in there. And they're paper thin. They just fall apart. Yum. So this ROJAK spot is called Limbo, and ROJAK is like a salad, but she starts by making the sauce. It's like a mixture of tamarind and probably some palm sugar, and then maybe some sambal, and then she adds a little bit of chili sauce in there, some lemon juice, mixes it all up with a bunch of different veggies and fruit. I saw pineapple, cucumbers, and then she adds some Chinese youtiao, so like a fried dough stick in there, and then lots of peanuts on top. It's a pretty unique dish, like to have fruit and all the sauce all over it.
Normally, I like it for sharing because it's, you know, big portion.
Let's try it out. I've got a piece of youtiao and a piece of cucumber and something else. There's a bunch of different things in there. Cheers.
Sweet, tangy, savory.
I love the peanuts in there. And I got a piece of the youtiao. Super, super crunchy and crispy. It's like a refreshing salad, but it's also kind of sweet. It's almost like a dessert, to be honest, a little bit.
But it's like a light snack as well.
I could eat this for dessert. This would go good with the beer when you're not pregnant. That's good. It's like a hint of spice too. But it's like refreshing because all of the fruit and vegetables are just raw. I like it.
There's like green mango.
Green mango,
That's
yeah.
the sour one.
A little sour, yeah. You guys know I love pineapple.
Anytime there's pineapple, I'm happy, especially when it's like something savory like this mixed with pineapple. So I've got pineapple, youtiao, pineapple. It's absolutely crazy in here, super packed out, busy, and this is my first time ever trying mee rebus. So what do we got here, Key?
So we have your yellow noodles, and it's a thick sweet potato gravy base.
Okay.
So they call it kwa, the gravy, and then it goes with some chilies and onions, fried onions, and then boiled eggs.
Yep.
And you have to try it first before squeezing the lime later.
Okay, let's try it out. The gravy on top is so thick, and there's no meat in here. It's just with the boiled egg, right?
Yep.
All right, let me try this out. A little bit nutty almost, and definitely sweet. And I feel like I can taste maybe some like shrimp paste or some maybe dried anchovies in there or something.
Since it's thick and sweet, I like to
take the lime.
squeeze some lime.
Yeah, definitely. Anytime there's a lime, I gotta squeeze it. Whoa, that's a juicy lime too. That's a needed addition for sure.
Good contrast.
Yeah. So the main protein in here is a boiled egg. So I'm gonna cut that up. Try it with some of this gravy. It's such a thick, rich gravy, and that green chili there too. All about that gravy. The texture, so creamy and thick. Yum.
So I've come to this really old school shop called Heap Sang Long, and this is for a classic Singaporean breakfast, kaya toast with eggs and kopi, and they're actually grilling the toast on charcoal here. I ordered a kopi with a bit of butter on top too, and this is just like the most typical Singaporean breakfast that you can have, so let's dig in. So these are super soft boiled eggs, and I've added a little bit of soy and some white pepper, and then kaya toast with some butter. So kaya is like a coconut jam, and then I just like to dip it right in to the eggs like this. You get the sweetness from the kaya, savoriness from the eggs, and then you can wash it down with a little bit of this kopi, a really thick coffee with some condensed milk. And wow, yeah, you can taste the butter in there too. It's kind of floating on the top. Just a really light, quick breakfast before I go meet up with Key, because we're gonna be doing a lot of eating today. You can see that beautiful butter and kaya mixture on the inside, and these eggs are just so ridiculously soft. Also, if you like, go for a dip in the kopi. Look how dark and rich that coffee is. Wow. This is such a classic Singaporean breakfast. Really old school shop too. Wantan mee, which is a Singaporean favorite, a classic dish. Here's my plate right here. So it's the noodles here, the mee on the bottom, and then the wontons, and then this place serves it with some chashu and a little bit of greens back there. And you gotta mix this up because all the sauce is on the bottom. And this is, like I said, a very typical classic Singaporean dish. Of course, the influence is coming from Cantonese Chinese, but it's beloved by many Singaporeans. Wow, looks good. Let's try some of the noodles. Yum. Oh, the sauce. It's like a little bit of a tangy, fermented flavor. Gotta chase it with a little bit of this red pork and chashu. Thinly sliced. Actually, it's quite sweet. Wonton, go for a little dip in the chili here. Chili sauce on the side. Oh, these are slippery guys. Oh no, I'm not gonna be able to get it. Oh, there we go. Oh, that chili sauce, phenomenal. Some vinegar in there, a little kick of spice. Yeah, this is comfort food at its finest. Really home cooked flavor.
Okay, so we just finished waiting in quite a long line. It is about 2 o'clock now, and the line certainly died down from since we got here at about 12:30. But this is in the most famous stall for sure at this hawker center at Maxwell Food Court, and that is Tian Hainanese chicken rice. So this place was made famous by people like Anthony Bourdain and Gordon Ramsay. And actually our cab driver was telling us that Gordon Ramsay was recently in town to learn how to make this Hainanese chicken rice from this hawker stall, Tian. I don't know if that's true or not because our taxi driver told us that, but regardless, he has eaten there, so is Anthony Bourdain, and they have just won several awards, so apparently this is the best chicken rice around. So I'm pretty excited to try it, and it does look really good. We ordered the medium-sized chicken rice, and there is quite a bit of this just chicken breast meat, and all, of course, on a bed of rice, and then over here it looks like some sort of like a chili sauce, and then back here we've got some cucumbers as well. So I'm just gonna dig in. Oh, of course too, he has just covered it in their specialty sauce, the secret sauce, and that is the Hainanese chicken rice, and it looks ridiculously juicy from this point of view. It looks just shimmering in the light, and I'm just gonna dig in right now. Okay, I'm gonna go for a piece kind of in the middle where there's quite a bit of sauce for my first bite, and make sure to get some rice. Oh yeah. Now the chicken is cold, and the sauce is a little bit sour. The chicken's supposed to be cold, or room temperature at least. But that rice is actually, the rice is really good. Yeah, that rice is amazing. So that rice is actually cooked in the juices of the chicken and maybe a little bit of chicken stock as well. And I was actually expecting it to be a little bit more tender, but let's try another bite here. And this time, I'll go for this piece here. It looks extremely juicy, and I'm gonna dip it in this chili sauce now too. Okay, that should be a good bite.
That's it for today's video. That was the top 22 street foods to try in Singapore. If you haven't already, subscribe, comment down below what was your favorite food from today's episode, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of Chopstick Travel. Bye.